Good morning. Happy Wednesday, everyone. So today's topic is going to be about self-discipline, self-control, and self-care. All of those things are very important to thrive as a human being. And, one of the things that I pride myself on and what's changed for me the most in the last 7 years or so is that I realized that for a long time I was surviving. Now I'm trying to thrive. And a part of thriving is setting goals. But the problem with goals is sometimes those goals are pretty far out. And things happen in between, this starting spot that we're at and the destination. Look, if you're driving a cross-country trip, sometimes it'll be detours, right? Life's kind of like that. We beat ourselves up because we put on weight or we somehow become the people we don't want to be. But a part of that is self-reflection, taking some time and saying, okay, let me reassess my goals, double back and look at what my goals were so that I can obtain those things. You can't just be hard on yourself over and over and over again and not look at the good things that you've done or that you're doing. Last year I had a really hard year, man. I didn't work out because I was commuting to Seattle every weekend. We didn't have a chance to save money because we were spending that money to get to my mother-in-law. And it turns out, if you ask my wife, it wasn't worth it given the stuff that's going on and behind the scenes that's not really positive. But if you ask me, it gave me time to realize that no matter what happens in life, you do not quit on your habits. You don't stop dream chasing. You don't stop working towards what you want. Regardless, because at the end of the day, it's about you. Another important part is that you got to get your mind right. People are unbalanced sometimes. Sometimes they hit the gym all the time and their body is right, but their mind's not. Or vice versa. You know what I'm saying? Your mind might be cool, but you don't exhibit self-discipline with your body and your spirit. That's okay. You just have to try to find that balance, that happy medium. Here I am. I don't weigh what I want to. I want to have this summer body. I don't have a summer body. I got too much body, but I'm okay with that because I understand mentally and spiritually I'm getting back to where I need to be. I'm getting my footing again. So the other part of this conversation is self-control, though. The other day, my little nephew, man, he got a hold of me and he checked himself, but he called me and he said, "Hey, am I wrong for how I handled this situation?" And long story short, there was confrontation and there were people wrong on both sides of this argument. But what I had to correct him on was the self-control aspect. As adults, there shouldn't be somebody that can make you move, somebody that makes you mad, somebody that gets in the way of your goals. That's an excuse. It's an excuse for you not being able to control yourself, and that is unacceptable. Look, no matter what you think you know, somebody is always looking up to you. And we have an obligation, to look around us and make sure that we're being the leaders and exhibiting the self-control that we should so we can be the people that we need to be. And I'm not perfect. Man, many of y'all know me, I've changed. When I was younger, I was wild. You say the wrong thing, I might slap you in your mouth, that's real. Or get slapped in my mouth because I just didn't care, right? But the reality is that now I represent a group of people, now I represent a family, now I represent my homies. And to be a boss, you have to strategize, have self-control, self-care, because people are counting on me. That's the reality. They're counting on me for good advice. My granddaughter and my girls are still counting on me for revenue to build generational wealth. So I have to exhibit self-control. I even asked them, I said, "Look, you ever see me snap out on somebody?" "No." "Your whole life, you ain't never seen me snap out on somebody." "Have I ever offered you a drink?" "No." None of those things, because I want to set good standards, good habits, good role modeling. I want to be a good mentor, right? So, exhibit self-control. You're not an adult if you snapping out on people and you can't control yourself. That's a weak individual's trait. And the other thing is self-care. Look, I grew up in a house where, it's not a secret for most of y'all, but my mom has mental health issues. Right? And it's mainly because she didn't take care of self. And I don't mean that she wasn't number one in her book, because she always was, right? But what I mean is that she never actually took the time to assess what was going on with her as an individual and find tools to move forward in her life to be better. Look, mental health is for real. There's days I feel depressed. There's days where I don't want to get out of bed, and I'm sure most of you do too. I'm not disputing that. But what is the strategy? How are you taking care of yourself mentally, emotionally, physically? What are you doing to make sure that you're not encountering these negative things that create that tailspin? And I know with mental health, there's ups and downs, baby. There's ups and downs, rivers and valleys, right? But what I'm saying is when we're up, do we have strategies to make us feel better? When we're up, do we do things that help us heal mentally and emotionally? For me, it's hip hop music. You know what I'm saying? For me, writing, art, poetry, those are things that I love. I love because they give me a sense of peace. Growing up, man, I would pray that somebody would come and get me out of my situation. Pray that I could find some peace within myself. And it wasn't until I was older that I realized I controlled that peace. I controlled the inner me, right? And it took some work, meditation, learning to love myself and love others, learning to deal with my trauma and not run from it. Self-care is one of the most important things you can do. So what I want you to do today, the goal for today, is find your little place, your little piece of happiness. You know what I'm saying? Whether you're in a little ass cubicle like me, yeah, they cut my cubicle in half. Okay, I'm small and I can reach and I touch both sides of my desk, but I still find peace within that. I find peace helping people. I find peace making others laugh. I find happiness in other people's happiness. So find your little slice of the world. Not all of us today can go to freaking Hawaii or Bahamas, but we can have that beach and that relaxation and that vacation lifestyle inside of us. So you go and you have a happy Wednesday. You go and you do something worth doing. You become the person that you want to be. Oh, one last thing. I feel like I have to tell you, look, I know some of you guys are out there working hard, grinding, pushing for a dream, as am I. And I know you're not there yet, but don't you dare give up. Getting to the mountaintop takes work. Climbing mountains was easy, everybody would do it. It's not. You know what I'm saying? Get your hustle on. Work, work, work. Don't ever give up. I'm gonna keep working. I've been on this grind for almost a decade. I'm almost 9 years sober, okay? I'm out here working for generational wealth, working to change my community, working to give my little nieces and nephews, the peace and closure that I never received. So if you got a goal, if you're striving to be great, just keep working at it. Just keep working. And if you give up, maybe that goal wasn't that important to you. All right. Y'all have a great Wednesday. Peace.